Welcome to Let's Play The Sims 3 Episode 10. We finally made it into the double digits. Arianna has just returned from her vacation, so it's back to reality for her. And you are about ready to go home. I literally started this recording right when she came back to Isla Paradisa, so this is a screen story that you would see when you first return from a vacation. As much as I enjoyed our vacation to China, I did miss this lovely place. You gotta love how the clouds are reflected in the water. It makes it look really realistic. Welcome home, Arianna. It's been a while since we've seen our house, so that's nice. I like the dock we chose to have our house uh, attached to. It seems to be a very elegant one. I've seen some of the other ones, and they look less than nice. Some of them have like debris and stuff beside the port. Kind of makes it look a little bit less classy. This port definitely has a elegance to it. I believe we are parked in a port called Pretty Port, which is a very suited name given that it's a very pretty port. And I suppose the water from our journey home really gave Arianna a run for her money because she has to go to the bathroom.
Annie, sorry. Ugh. Betsnor.
Poor Arianna. Something's wrong with her toilet, and she apparently got sprayed. I don't think that would be very pleasant. She must be taking a very big dump, and it must have splashed up and hit her butt.
Ambaglo. Mas curida. Twisna. Glarby. De love show ma? Vamos a baby. Quas? Oba. But
So now we're going to
Temadozi?
call one of her acquaintances
Asakamatlia.
and attempt to make friends with them. I do feel really bad for Arianna. She's lived here for a while, and yet she has
Gazalo?
no friends,
Gazalo.
no real friends, which is sad.
Nazaj. Genda Tibble. Below. Zagdova. Glarby. De love show ma? Vamos a baby. Quas?
As always, I am just preparing her for what she needs to do when she gets off the phone. So, I am a coffee addict, as I'm sure you guys would have gathered from when I put the coffee maker in the kitchen in the first place. So, I think Ariana deserves some coffee. She's never had some before, and that's just wrong. I've been drinking coffee for a lot of years, and I love coffee, so she needs to at least try it. She may not
Oh.
like it, but that's fine. If she doesn't like it, then she doesn't have to have it again. Keep in mind that we are eventually going to grow our family. Ariana will meet a significant other. She will eventually have children with him. Um, I'm not sure how many because it really depends on the sim. I generally like to let them decide for themselves how many children and so on they're going to have because they do, when you have free will set up high, they do tend to do these things on their own from time to time. Looks like Ariana was talking about pleading with someone for something. That does not sound very pleasant.
Fox
Coffee.
nor bompsy doob dib. Won't doob norka farg.
The coffee maker, I'm not sure if you noticed when I told her to make coffee or not. There are actually a whole bunch of different kinds of lattes, coffees, and that sort of stuff that you can select from the coffee maker. I like to think of it as a Tassimo instead of a regular coffee maker because it can make all those specialty drinks. Personally, I'm addicted to the mocha latte from the Tassimo, so I generally try to get her to drink chocolate lattes as well. I'm bad like that though. I'm like that with all my Sims. Some of them don't like it and they refuse to drink it again. Others love it and they want it every waking moment of the day. So it depends, like I said, on the Sim.
Ugh, skeggy.
I think that's one of the things that makes this game so incredibly interesting. Everything changes depending on the personality of your sim. If you have a mean sim, they will actually take pleasure in the misfortune of other sims. If you have a nice sim, then they will actually rejoice when other sims have good things happen to them, and they will be sad when other sims have bad things happen to them. Brave sims will tackle a burglar or intruder when they come into your house. They can put out fires and such, where cowardly sims will run and hide. So off we go on another adventure, but this time the adventure's in our own hometown. That's actually a really nice boat on the side there. The red and grayish blacky one and white of foot. It is really, really, really nice. Although I'm a huge what's a flan? I'm a huge fan of the color black. I know it's not technically a color, but it is my all-time favorite. Black and blue. I love blue. So I tend to like to make my vehicles black. Black goes with everything, so then I don't have to worry about color coordinating my outfits with my Sims car or boat. Just so that you are also aware, you do not have to buy a boat. I purposely bought a speedboat because they're fast. You can ride sea-doos, you can go windsurfing. There is a plethora of different unique options that you can utilize to get around in the city. You know, seeing that like that almost reminds me of Resident Evil 4. The houses on the little stick. I don't know why. Could be the colors too. It kind of reminds me of that type of environment, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It reminds me of Resident Evil. Every time I see it, I think, oh, where are the zombies? But I do have Supernatural installed, so there can be
Danish.
zombies, but I have actually never met a zombie that wanted to eat me yet. Yet being the key word in that sentence. I heard that you can create a zombie apocalypse. You can also, if you have Into the Future, you can create a Terminator Skynet type of scenario.
Lasho! Malash! Whiff! Mala?
Perhaps Ariana has a slight case of social anxiety because she seems to be a little hesitant about approaching people in the first place. It takes her a couple of seconds longer to actually say anything to someone than some of my other Sims do. So I find that very interesting. Again, it all depends on their personality and how they react to things. Now, this I definitely
Joga?
find interesting
Stumsa.
because Ariana is trying to say that she cannot speak to that gentleman right there because she cannot get to him. There's something in the way. She's quite obviously facing him, standing right next to him. So I like to think that that's just part of her personality. It shows that she's a little bit on the shy side. But apparently she is attracted to this guy, which is sad considering, you know, they're not even in the same age bracket, but that's okay. You can't help who you fall
Hardikaneskida.
for, right? Some people like older people, some people like younger people, some people enjoy
Jemdi,
people their own
Sigma,
age. It
Zaj,
depends on the person
Balekta,
in real life, it
and
depends on the person in The
Kabadoonie.
Sims.
Left?
As you can clearly see, Ariana is not picky. She
Narbo
seems to like
Bazep.
anyone and everyone, which is
Salachi
going to make finding her a mate quite
Banachugu.
easy.
Mips?
Kuklazi Husu,
So if
Tangizev.
there is anything you guys want me to do in this series, if there's
Abri.
anywhere specific you want me to go or
Harfu
anything you would
har.
like me to check out,
Pawabazab.
please do
Kadu?
not hesitate to
Hob.
leave me a comment below and let me know where you would like me to go or what you would
Haj.
like me to do, and I'll be sure to get to that as soon as possible. After all, this is our game. Not just my game, it is our game.
Glarn, Flitzaka.
I love how they can build charisma and other
Kalyova.
things just by
Oh,
having
was it
certain
Lubavni?
conversations, like by
Sanya?
saying certain things
Glizakov.
to other Sims. It actually builds up their skills, which is something that I think is very unique.
Lardy
I mean, in real
Yar.
life, you would build up
Horbidorg.
your
For
charisma by talking to
Muziba.
other people and affiliating yourselves with certain types of people. So I think that's
Charmleaf.
interesting that they've kind
Who?
of copied that in the game.
Pripti Chapusandiga.
As you can see by the moodlet in the bottom of the screen, the little
Di
red one,
Nadu.
the one with the
Cinebobes.
pinky background, that is a coffee crash buzz. A coffee buzz crash, sorry. What it means is that her coffee caffeine high is now gone. So when she drinks coffee, she has a
Vanidate.
certain amount of time that she can utilize to really efficiently get things done. Once the caffeine high comes down, then
Dezo.
she is kind of
Bublo.
sluggish. You
Diggo.
can drink more
Larsa.
coffee to fix that, but I'm warning you now, the more coffee you drink, the more
Luria.
she's going to have to go to the bathroom.
Starka Bunkle.
So it really
Shifty
does affect
Glurshi.
your bladder. It does bring
Boza.
up your
Well.
energy though, and it's kind of cool to watch your sim have a
Azamov.
cup of coffee.
Mozgly.
Only
Zado.
every so
Was
often
a
though, because,
blast.
they just sit there and drink it,
Asma.
so it's not necessarily the most interesting thing in the world. But hey, you can invite
Blukta.
people
Zivi
over and have
Horp.
like a coffee date or something. Start your own coffee club. I apologize
Hey!
with my obsession with coffee today. Apparently I have not had enough of it this morning, although that is subject to be argued either way. So for some reason, Ariana is talking about babies and shoes with
Clark.
this gentleman, which
Gazangluva.
is kind of strange. Babies are the type of topic that you shouldn't really have with an
Kalornia.
acquaintance. I
Enzo.
think that that's something
Blight.
that you should talk about with your significant other, but she doesn't have one.
Arbla
So I
Napsu
guess that makes it okay for her to just
Nergasig.
randomly talk to guys about
Shabusa
it.
Sagadig. Samdazzle.
In case you haven't figured it out yet and you're wondering,
Oh,
how I
Bruni
keep figuring out
Jogo.
what they're talking about or what they're saying is from the little speech bubbles above their head. So the
Dani.
images
Who's
in
that?
the bubble actually change depending on what they're talking on. Right now there is an engagement ring in her speech bubble. So she's talking about getting engaged or telling a joke about getting engaged, something of the sort. Apparently he liked that, so she was likely telling a joke. So they can talk about a variety of topics. It is completely random. Well, for the most part. If you ask about day, then she'll actually ask the other sim about their day, and it'll tell you generally what their
Mavuthrak?
day was like.
Zelish!
And if compliment them, then they will get a moodlet that's flattered. So it really depends on how they react and what they're talking about, but you don't have any other control over what they do talk about in the speech bubbles. That's just kind of random. But now they're talking about pleading for their boss not to get fired. I sure hope Arianna doesn't get fired. She's been doing an excellent job, working hard to save Sims' lives. This guy here is part of a additional quest.
Fliesel?
I actually got, I'm not sure if you remember or not, but I got a pop-up that said to talk to this guy to gain charisma skill.
Who?
It will increase my charisma skill, and I'll have a new friend out of it. So that's pretty awesome. So that's what I'm doing now. When I do this, it will increase my job performance, because that was the whole purpose of doing this special opportunity, was to bring up my job performance. I'm kind of hoping she'll get a promotion so that we can move on to a more busy speech and potentially save some lives. I don't know about you guys, but standing around hoping that you'll be able to help some people and do some good is not really any good. I guess that's bad to say, though, considering how we are lifeguards. We don't really want people to need our help. We just want to pretend like we want people to need our help. Then we don't actually have to do anything and we get paid for it. Actually, when you think about it, it's a pretty sweet job. Sit on a chair or stand there, look around, be diligent, and you can't go wrong. Too bad they don't get paid more.
Blivda.
Begorg.
Sometimes they'll both have a plus over their head with the topic, which means they both liked the conversation. Sometimes they'll both get a double plus over their head, which means they both really liked the conversation. And sometimes they'll get a negative above their heads, which means they did not like the conversation. And again, they can also get a double negative above their heads, which means they really did not like that conversation. The little meter on the top left hand of the screen is your friend meter. As you can see, there's a little bit of green there. That means that we are building our friendship. So as the meter gets more green, we will be better friends with him. If the meter goes the other way, and we have a lot of negatives, and we end up not getting along with him very well, then he can actually become our enemy, our worst enemy. It varies depending on how much you actually dislike the person or how much you like the person. So this is the last interaction I'm going to do with him, and then I think I'm just gonna get going and get some other stuff done. Unfortunately, her hunger is getting pretty low, so she's going to need to eat something very, very soon. We got a little hungry moodlet in our emoticon area there. The hunger moodlet basically means that she's really hungry. It has a little timer underneath it to tell you how long that's going to last. Once that moodlet goes away, she's actually going to be in starvation mode. Once that starvation moodlet goes away, she could actually die from starvation. There are multiple ways your sim can die, including getting hit by a meteorite. Yes, you heard me. She could be crushed by a meteorite. There are quite a few different ways that you can die in this game. I'm not going to go through all of them specifically because there are quite a few, but hopefully we'll get a chance to play around with some of those as the game progresses. So this is not just a grocery store, it is also a restaurant. So I just wanted to go in here and pick up something to eat since she is so incredibly hungry and go grocery shopping. Now, I did speed this up because otherwise it's a rabbit hole and it takes quite a long time to get through, so I just kind of sped this up to make it a little easier. I find it interesting that she comes out a different door than she went in. I realize it's one building with two doors, but it looks kind of like two separate buildings, so that's different. Alright, so Arianna is full, and her social's full, and unfortunately her energy is very, very low. So we're going to have to head back home, see what we can do for her. Luckily, we don't live too far away. Alright, so this pretty much concludes another episode of Let's Play The Sims 3. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to comment and or subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again next time. Have a good one, guys.